Hey everybody, it's Brian here with Cal. That's coachingandlife.com. And I'm here with the CEO of Coaching and Life, Barrett Ladafoga. How you doing, Barrett?
I'm fine, thank you, Brian. It's a wonderful day, and as you know, I'm in Florida. The sun is shining, and it's just great to be here. I'm here to arrange the retreat, our upcoming retreat.
Yeah, our retreat. That's wonderful. And if you don't know, everybody, Barrett lives in Denmark, outside of Copenhagen, and she's not normally this richly tan and sun-kissed like she is right now. Look at that hair all up and all relaxed. But so I'm glad you're taking time out of your little break to do the video, our Wednesday videos. And today, well, guys, Barrett and I were talking about some videos I've been making dealing with toxic people. And if you're interested in seeing those videos, you can obviously head to my Instagram. I think I'll put it in the, we'll put it in the comments, but you can head to Brian C. Dunn on Facebook or whatever. But we're going to be putting a full video up pretty soon, a presentation on dealing with toxic people. And that's what we want to talk about today. We thought, you know, I've been getting a lot of replies about my little videos. So Barrett brought this up. She said, hey, why don't we talk about this today? It's very timely. And so here we are, right, Barrett?
Here we are, yeah. And I think that dealing with toxic people, I don't think that you see yourself as toxic. And I don't think that you see yourself as being one who influences things going in that direction. So I think that for everyone involved, it's also a little bit about seeing the signs and the outcome, because I don't think that people really, anyone would say, I am toxic. So what is it, the signs that arise around you that you have to be aware of, that any one of us can be a toxic person and have bad influence on other people? Some people that I have worked with, friends that I have had, just totally stress me out. That's not their mistake. That's, you know, it's a little bit also my own, and in that, you know, letting go and how to move on. I think for everyone, dealing with it is something that we need to address.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that. There are the focus I've had have been toxic people that are stirring things up for a reason. But I think we all can fall into that trap of being the toxic person. My personal belief about toxic people in the workplace is these people usually are insecure, they're fearful, and so what they do is that comes, and it may be insecurity at work or at home. There may be other issues going on, they've been hurt, they've been traumatized, and it bleeds over into work. Either way, it's not, you know, beneficial. And so I've been covering how to deal with toxic people. But you're absolutely right. You know, being aware of our own actions as well, I think, is super important, because I think there are times where we don't realize how toxic we are being, you know, the negativity we bring into a project or into a team and whatnot. So that was, I'm glad you brought that up. That's super important. I was going to say something else about some toxic people, they just thrive on the drama. You know, they're not necessarily, right? You know, people like that, right? I have relatives like that. If there are any of my relatives watching this, you get to determine if it's you or not. And so, and we know this just from in the early stages of Coaching in Life, we had a lot of people that would, every single thing that came up, you know, was just a challenge, was a fight. And there were reasons why we couldn't do this, why we couldn't do that. And that's my biggest frustration with toxic people. You know,
I actually think for listeners listening to you and I right now, I mean, one of the things that I really think that are missing out for every one of us is that the ability to work with misunderstandings. It's the ability to seek the and the other person, I mean, I don't mean it this way. Maybe I said it wrong, or what is it? But because at the end of the day, just like on the retreat, we're going to be working on what I see and you see, but we're also going to be working on what I see, you don't see. And we're going to be working on what you see and I don't see. And we're going to be working on what you don't see and what I don't see. And the blind spots is actually a little bit, if we think about it, Brian, and for everyone out there, every company is facing the problems the employees are facing. So if a company is in lack of performance, what is the biggest obstacle in the company? It's the ability to be allowed to perform. And I think that it's so amazing how people can really come together if they just open up and relax. And a little bit, it's like people are so perfect and they are so zero mistake that they're so tight. And I mean, sending out an email with spelling errors, who is it going to hurt? It's not the fact that it has to be correct. And everything that we do, the more perfect we do it, the more power we actually give Facebook, Google. We give all these machines and everything that takes over our lives much more energy and power than we as humans. So I think that for listeners out there, sometimes it's good just to reach out and say, did we understand this same way? Is this as you see it? And I mean, that's exactly what the retreat and working with the pocket coach is going to help people get good habits, because good habits open good doors. And that's what we want.
It's interesting because I see what you're talking about and what I talk about. We're kind of two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
They're not. When I'm dealing with, what I've been presenting, and this, obviously, you've been watching, is how you can survive having to deal with a toxic person. And I think there are other approaches where, and we'll be able to address this at the retreat in particular, of how to deal and how to communicate, really. How to communicate and not take yourself too seriously, to kind of help you when you are in those situations where you might potentially be toxic. But you're absolutely right. I'm going through puberty, Barrett. The chain is as strong as its weakest link.
Yes.
And so my focus when I was a teacher, and I know yours when you were in the corporate world, as is ours in Cal, is to raise everybody up. What was it? The tide. We want to be like the tide. Yes. Because when the tide comes in, it raises all boats up.
Yes.
Equally. And I really love that metaphor. I texted it to myself so I wouldn't forget it. And I had no idea I'd be able to use it. But, so we're kind of dealing with two aspects here of that coin. How to save yourself, how to deal with toxic people to be able to accomplish your position, and then how to change the culture of your work environment and your communication in order to address that toxicity. And so I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's something that I was going to start to discuss later. And so this is a good bridge. So as I wrap up toxic people, I can talk about dealing with toxic environments. That's great. And so thank you for bringing that up. That's awesome. And
I mean, that's why people should, join our retreat and join into us is exactly the ability to explore having a safe place to ask. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you don't ask because you want to have or sound stupid or be stupid or whatever it comes out with. You do because you're curious, because you're human, because you want to commit, because you are interested in more. And I think that we should all embrace that. And I think that now setting up, I hope that we can speak about retreats from now on, and I hope that people will get the pocket coach a long time before they even join the retreat, because it's going to benefit them a lot.
Let me stop you right there, Barrett, because I don't think we've really formally established it. But for all of you watching, we're going to be holding a retreat probably in the first quarter of next year in Florida, and we want you to come and join us. There's going to be a limited number of people that we're allowing there, and we're getting things prepped now. But we're even looking at a nighttime cruise on a yacht. We've got some speakers. We have I can't mention names, but we've got a fairly prolific MD that will come out and speak. We have, #1 selling author coaches that'll be there. We've got, well, obviously me. I mean, you would just come out to see me, right?
Yes, I would.
Yes. And then we'll have Barrett all the way from Copenhagen-ish.
Yes.
You're not in Copenhagen, are you? Just outside of it?
Yes, 14 kilometers. Yes, at the sea.
Yeah, so we're not telling anybody exactly where, because I know how you get hounded. Show up your door. Are you Barrett Lodefogen? Yes.
Yeah.
You sign your autograph. So guys, as we get moving forward, we're going to be telling you more about this retreat that Cal is having. And like always, we've got the Pocket Coach, which goes along with any one of our programs through coachingandlife.com. And it is a daily personal accountability tool that you can work with your coach to create the right focus and everything. Barrett's been using it. I've been using it. We're getting growth from it. Barrett had an epiphany just what, yesterday or
yesterday? Yes.
Using the Pocket Coach, she had a moment that just things clicked for her. So that's awesome. So I think that about wraps it for today. I'm going to be doing more videos. I'm going to be doing the presentation on toxic people, and we'll do it on toxic environments as well. As a matter of fact, you know what? I do a Wednesday wisdom thing on Facebook Live on Wednesdays, and maybe that's what I'll talk about today also, is toxic people,
awesome.
toxic environments. Yeah, absolutely. So anything else, Barrett, before we wrap it up?
No, hope to see everybody, and I wish everybody a beautiful day. And if we can support in any way, any way at all, use the chat box at coachingandlife.com or reach out to any of us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, until we meet again, inhale relaxation, exhale tension, and be well.